Good morning. Today we are going to discuss about machine learning. Let me discuss what is machine learning. Machine learning is a field of study that gives the ability to the computer for self-learn without being explicitly programmed. That means we can understood that we make the machine to learn itself without explicit program. For example, take a human being. As a human being, we can gain experience and do our task or our work based on our experience. How a human can get an experience? A human can get an experience by doing some task and analyze his performance through some performance activities, and then he will gain the experience. When he need to do the same work repeatedly or again, he can improve the effectiveness or the find out the errors and rectify the errors by his experience. The same way here, the machine learning, we make the machine to learn itself by its experience and do the work or improve the work itself efficiently. Here, let me see what a machine learning consists. As we discussed in previous topic, here the task is T is the task and P is the performance and E is the experience. For example, let's take, if you want to recognize the handwritten words, then that will be the task, and we can measure the performance, that is how much percentage of the words that correctly been classified. This is the performance, and E is the database of the hand written human labeled images of handwritten words. Here, the machine learning consists of the learning algorithm that improves that performance P at executing some task T over with experience. Machine learning combines data with statistical tools to predict an output. Okay, then we'll discuss about the difference between the traditional programming and machine learning. What is traditional programming? In traditional programming, for the machine or the computer, we give data as input and give the instructions, that is the rules to the program, how to do that particular task, and based on these two things, the computer will provide you the output. And in case of any modification or new data or in new situation, the programmer has to rewrite or to modify the program for the execution. This is the scenario in traditional programming. When we come to machine learning, that is for the computer, in machine learning we give data as input as well as the output as also input. The machine that correlate or finds the relationship between the data and the output, that is how the data is being derived, and it finds out a model and gives you the rules to that particular data and output. This is what we call it as an machine learning. And here there is no need of explicitly programmed in case of new data has been given to the machine. It adopts some algorithms to find out the new methodology or the method to execute the particular process or the task. Why we need a machine learning? As in the digital era, the data is been growing day by day, and it is impossible to understand all the data with higher speed and higher accuracy as a human, but a machine which can do without any fatigue. More than 80% of the data are unstructured and different formats such as audios, videos, photo, document, etc. Finding a model or pattern based on these unstructured data is difficult as a human brain, so a machine can easily do by its learning process and can execute it easily. The data has been very massive and it takes more time to compute the process. That is one of the difficulty for human, but machine can do it easily. Machine learning comes into action to help people with significant data in minimum time. Then machine learning would be more effective, where the machine learning will more effective, where there is lack of human expertise, where there is no lack of human expertise in certain domains, we can implement the machine to do the task, or we can implement the machine to complete the work. And another next one is dynamic scenario. When the situation changes frequently, the scenario changes, we can implement a machine to process it. And another difficult in translating expertise into computational task. Humans are unable to explain their expertise in some situations where we can implement the machine learning. For example, a speech recognition. We can recognize, for a human, recognizing speech is a difficult task in different format, but machine can do it with different techniques. Let me discuss about how does a machine learning work. As we discussed in the previous chapter, as the same way, it gains the experience based on the experience in an unknown way. Based on the experience, that the experience can be gained by the task it do, and it been by the performance it analyze the pros and cons. For example, what are the things that to be that should not be repeated again to make the process effectively. These things are learned by the machine through algorithms. For example, let me discuss unknown situation. For that is when we face an unknown situation, the livelihood of success is lower than a known situation. This is a natural scenario in human, but in machine learning it may be trained the same with different aspects. The core objective of the machine learning is to learning and inferences. First of all, the machine learn through the discovery of pattern, that is by models. As we discussed the performance, task and experience, with this it will create a model, and with the help of the data, it will create a model. Based on the model, it find out the future vector, which we call is the attribute of the attribute or subset of the actual data. That is the data which is essential to complete the task, or the attributes used to solve the problem is called a future vector. The future vector, we call it as a subset of the data, which is more useful in finding the